we are going now to start. I told you now this first part is for question 1, section A. Section A. Now we are going to start light. That's what we call optics. Now we shall start by defining. We shall look at the definition. Optics. Now in O level, I remember we said light is a form of energy that enables us to see. Much as the biologists tell us that we have what we call the cones and rods, but now even those ones, they have restrictions. Even the rods that work at night, during darkness. Let's say you're in a room, there is light, then maybe you get a blackout, maybe power goes off. Now there is that at the instant light goes off, you can't see anything, right? But as time goes on, you start picking some things, but much as we are still in darkness. But even those the cones require some minimum amount of light for us to see. So that's why we say it's a form of energy that enables us to see. So let's take it from me that without light, we can't be able to see. So that is the O level definition. But now when you come to A level, we can modify it a bit. So there is no problem using the O level definition, but we can say is a form of energy that enables sensation of vision. How does it sound? So we are just modifying it a bit to just look unique from the O level definition. Or some people say that enables the activation of the sense of vision. Only that is too technical. Let's take this. Is a form of energy that enables sensation of vision. So for the sense of vision to be active, you need what? You need light. That is all. Without light, you can't be able to see. So we can basically look at where does light come from, sources of light. You can just point them down. Sources of light. Now someone watching me may be wondering, is this person still taking us back to O level or we're in A level? We're in A level, my friend. You can mention them. I know the person watching me has a list. You can have it, right? Sun, moon, stars, torch, the bulbs, the fireflies, glowworms, and etc. etc. Are we together? So those are some of the sources of light that we may have. Now, out of that long list that we have had, we may categorize them, or we may break them down into 2 broad types. There are basically 2 broad types of the sources of light. They are what we call the luminous sources of light. Luminous means a primary source. Amongst these ones, we have those that produce their own light, and we have those that just reflect the light they receive from other sources onto, and that is the light that they make use of. Are we together? So we are going to categorize all these sources into 2 broad categories. So we have luminous sources, and we have said that luminous sources are sources of light that they do generate their own light. For example, if you look at the sun is a luminous source. Reason being, it contains, or it does the generation of its own light. So we can look at examples. We have the sun. We have what you call the fireflies, because those ones also move with their own light. We have what we call the glow worms. Yeah, we can say etc. Those ones do generate their own light. They do not require any help to generate light, or they do not reflect light from other sources. Then we can look at the other second, which is the opposite of luminous, and that is non-luminous sources of light. Now, for non-luminous sources of light, those ones we shall say these are sources of light that reflect light from luminous sources. For them, they are like reflectors of light. They get light from luminous sources and they make use of it to reflect. Okay, so basically that is the, about non-luminous sources of light. Main example, we have the moon, we have stars, and etc. The society we live in relation to optics, we have materials or objects that fall under 3 different categories. The first category, we have what we call transparent objects. So in the environment that we live in, things that surround us can be categorized into basically 3 categories. And that's the first category is transparent objects. So basically, you can look around you and you see what are some of the objects that you can see through. Allowing light to pass through, it means our eyes can be able to see through them. So we can write down a long list of such objects that we have in our surrounding. So objects that allow light to pass through them are what we call transparent objects. Examples, we can look at the word is clear water. If you have a basin of water and there is clean and clear water, you can be able to see through. In case I'm to drop a coin, you can still trace it at the bottom of the basin. So clear water is an example of a transparent object. Then we also have clear glass. If you have a glass and it is clear, not tinted, you can still be able to see through it. And that's why we shall call it a transparent object. So any object that you can think of that our naked eyes can be able to see through, we shall classify it under transparent objects. Now that is the first category. We can move on to the second category. So we are going to look at translucent. Now, transparent, we say they allow all the light that falls onto them to pass through. Now for translucent, fine, you can still see through them, but the percentage of vision is reduced. That's why you call translucent. It means partially. They are partially transparent. Are we together? This one is fully transparent. These ones are partially. It is partial, meaning they allow partial light, or they allow little light to pass through them. These are objects that allow little light to pass through them. The first example can be most of us live in self-contained rooms or homes. So normally, and our bathrooms have those glasses. Now those glasses, if it is clear enough, you can see through at a certain percentage. So we classify them under translucent bathroom glass, and just because I've never found such type of glass anywhere else. So it is basically made for that purpose. That's why we shall say bathroom glass. Oily paper. If you get a paper and you smear it with oil, don't get a very hardy paper. Yeah, these ones that we use for photocopying. That one won't work. Get these papers from the book, then you smear it well with oil. I'm sure you can be able to see through it to a certain percentage. Yeah, then the example of tinted glasses, those ones are it is a bit tricky. Reason being, there are glasses that are tinted black that will again fall under opaque, which is the climax. Yeah, the climax, those ones that cannot allow any light to pass through them. So basically, for us to avoid that, because someone can say if it is tinted, it is fully tinted, then how will you be able to see through it? So that's why I don't want to commit myself. So we can first have these two, basically, for translucent objects. Opaque. Normally in class we would use that term because sometimes some of us didn't even know what it was. It basically meant. Even I remember right away from primary, we would use opaque. Yeah, you're opaque. Yeah, some of us would even feel offended, thinking that it was maybe an abuse. Yet someone was trying to use a scientific term to define you. So an opaque, in fact, your body is an opaque object. These are objects that do not allow any light to pass through them. Examples, you can say concrete. You can say concrete. You can say a brick. You can say a human body. I've not made a human body that is transparent. You can say wood. Wood, even if it is plywood. Yeah, light as it is, still it is opaque. Yeah, unless there are holes drilled in it, but still even wood is opaque altogether. So these are some of the examples that we can write down concerning opaque objects. Now that means now we are refreshing our minds about light. So from here we shall move straight to the motion of light. When light is moving, in what format does it move? That's where now we are heading to. Rays and beams. You remember in O level we defined those two terms. Now the definitions will not deviate. They will not differ. The definition that you are going to put down for a ray, we shall say this is the path taken by light from its source. That is what we call a ray of light. It is normally denoted by, we normally use a straight line with an arrow in the direction of motion. And that's what I'm talking about, is assuming the source is this side and it is heading towards this direction, then we shall have a straight line but bearing an arrow. So if you're to construct, or if you're to draw a ray diagram, we shall see that later on in our due course we shall be looking at ray diagrams. So an arrow, no, a straight line with an arrow represents what we call a ray. Should you make a mistake and just write a straight line without an arrow, then this will be, it will deviate from the convention, because the convention says a straight line with an arrow. So that's what we call a ray. Next time we shall look at a beam. Beams, we shall look at the different types of beams. So for now, at least a student that is now entering Form 5, that is now a vacancy of Form 4, you have a clue on what the paper 2 will look like. Remember where we started from and where we are now. So we shall add on, meaning in the next session, we shall have something that will take us to the A-level work.